Good evening from San Ignacio Town with the 9 o'clock news. I am Kimberly Locke. In the headlines, San Ignacio police investigate murder of Canadian national, released the man caught with drugs in Benqueviejo del Carmen, and tilapia farm in the Caya district celebrates international certification. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories coming up after these messages.
Are you always on the go? Tired of missing your favorite games while they're actually being played? Watch your games and sporting events live with Central TV and Internet's incredible MyTV. Simply log on to www.mitv.bz to get easy access to 25 channels, no matter where you are. With Central TV and Internet's MyTV, you're always in the game.
The Belize Tire Depot, your one-stop destination. What you will find is a first-class selection of solid, dependable, quality products from the names you can trust. We carry a full line of urea and SureTech tools and equipment to meet every need, from light maintenance around the house to heavy-duty fieldwork. Our tire workshop features the full array of Pirelli, Nexen, and Nankang tires for every vehicle and any terrain. Our trained technicians' #1 priority is to ensure you and your family's safety and security on the road. It's all here at the Belize Tire Depot. From reliable equipment, world-class time-tested tires, to sturdy, durable tools. Merchandise that's built to last with quality guaranteed.
Here now is the news in details. San Ignacio police continue their investigation of the murder of Canadian filmmaker 37-year-old Matthew Klink. Klink's body was found a short distance from his house in Selena Village in the Spanish Lookout area on Monday night with multiple stab wounds. According to police, the post-mortem examination of Klink's body showed that the cause of death is hypovolemic shock due to internal and external bleeding of multiple stab wounds. On Tuesday, the police commanding San Ignacio Police Superintendent Andrew Ramirez briefed reports on the homicide.
About 8:40, yesterday's date, the 4th of January 2016, upon information received of a body at Selena Village in the Spanish Lookout area, San Ignacio Police visited the area where they saw a male Caucasian lying face up, about 15 feet away from the house that he used as his premises, apparently motionless with a stab wound to the neck, left neck area. They also observed the house ransacked. The vehicle that he had also was open, amongst others. As a result, as a matter of fact, the body was in a state of decomposition already. We had commenced an investigation. The body was protected throughout the night until an on-site post-mortem was conducted today, where at the conclusion, the doctor certified that he had a total of 14 stab wounds to the upper part of his body, mainly in the neck area. So no doubt that this is a murder investigation. If the investigative team is presently in the area, trying to follow any sort of leads that they may find. The person has been identified as 37-year-old Matthew Klink, a Canadian national. As to how long he has been residing in Belize, we are still conducting investigation. On behalf of the St. Ignacio Police Department and an extension of the government of Belize, I'd like to express our sincerest condolences to the Klink family in Canada and also to the Canadian government in having one of their nationals die here in Belize. Upon getting that information, we have also contacted the Canadian consulate in order to get information to the family about the untimely death of Mr. Klink.
Sir, are you all able to say at this time what your investigation is leading towards, how he was killed, why he was killed, possibly?
Motive and all those is unknown at the moment. The only information we have at this point in time is that he was last seen about 4 p.m. in his vehicle around his premises. If you guys had visited the area, you would note for one that these areas are isolated. The houses are not really clustered together. And imagine one committing an act at night time. The possibility will always be there that it will be a very challenging investigation. But Mr. Reyes, who is the lead investigator in relation to this matter, is very determined, and I would hope that we get success in relation to find out the author or authors of this heinous act.
Sir, is there any indication as to where exactly the area where he may have been stabbed, inside the house, inside his car, any blood splatter anywhere? As I mentioned, his body was found outside of the residence about 15 feet. The further question that you had asked, at the end of the day, the investigative team will give me an update and I can confirm our suspicion in relation to where he was actually killed. And but certainly wasn't in the area where he was found.
As I said, that investigation is still ongoing at the moment.
And the murder weapon has not been recovered at all?
Not to my knowledge at this point in time.
What do you all know of Mr. Klink's activities here in Belize, if any?
I recently came here in July, so that's the first time that I am hearing about Mr.
Superintendent Ramirez says that all leads are being followed at this time, and the investigation team is being led by Deputy Commander of the San Ignacio Police, Assistant Superintendent Raimundo Reyes. The murder of Matthew Klink is a shock to the quiet rural community of Selena, where he resides, as well as friends and colleagues both in Belize and Canada. On Tuesday, Superintendent Ramirez confirmed to reports that despite the shocking murder, serious crimes all over were done last year in Kaya area. Here now is how he explained it.
For 2015, it shows a decrease in major crimes. But I would really like to single out the crime of murder, which saw over 100% decrease. Because in 2014 we had a total of 13 murders, and now in 2015 we have 5. However, I would also say that the loss of one is yet too many. We'll try our utmost best in 2016 to try bring it to zero. Always very challenging task, but as long as there's a way, there's a will. The other crime I would like to announce that had a decrease were basically burglary, kidnapping, rape, and arson. We had an increase in relation to unlawful sexual intercourse and robberies. The matter with the unlawful sexual intercourse is a bit interesting, the way we are looking at things right now. One, because most of these underage females would be basically Guatemalans. It's a question that can be a genuine question as an investigator. Are they impregnated in Guatemala and come over to have their child so that the whole system protects them to remain legal within our society? That's a genuine question that I pose to my domestic violence unit. Robberies, again, has increased, and that's a concern like any other crime. But I'm proud to say that overall, the Formation had as its target to bring down crime by 10%. We brought it down by 9%, so we dropped short by 1%. And 1% may reflect a crime or two, as you know, right? Because basically we had a total of 194 more major crimes, including more than everything in 2014, and now we have a total of 177, which to have 10%, you will basically have to have 19, but we just had 17 decrease, right? So if you look at 177 plus 17 makes 194, so we just brought down crime by 17 when we should have it at 19. So, but in order to resolve these matters, we have to look at it internally, because yes, we have some officers that do not push the long haul, and I really wish that we could have at least 60% of officers go the extra mile.
Superintendent Ramirez says that based on the successes of 2015, he is hoping to further reduce crimes in his area of responsibility.
We are asked as commanders to look at achievement. What were our greatest achievement for 2015? What were the challenges? And what will be the recommendation and projection for 2016? My role at this present moment is dual, because I'm also the Western Regional Commander and also the commanding officer for Sainaso. So whenever I prepare these projections, I have to be twofold, Sainaso and regional. One of the things that I always challenge myself is to work together as a team. So one of projection is to have a regional operational team, a regional investigative team, a regional case file readers, because we are looking basically embarrassed from time to time because of poor investigation and poor case file submission. So all of these things we want. But whilst we think about that aspect, we also have to embrace the community policing aspect. And I'm proud that we have recently gotten 24 officers that have been specifically assigned for what I will call a meet and greet. But this is actually the community-oriented policing program, which originated out of Belpan. We have 12 officers in Sainaso and 12 in Santa Elena. As part of my projection, it is also intent to have a vehicle at the Red Creek checkpoint now, and I expect to have it before the end of January. That will be one of my quick response vehicles that cater for Santa Elena. I know that the Santa Elena community has always been yearning for a police station. They have been basically jealous that the police station operates out of Sainaso. But I would like to inform them that in the first quarter, there will be some side of mobility and human resources that caters for the need of Santa Elena. Because we must also understand what came as an eye-opener to me was the flooding, when there was only the absolute that it was accessible. What if the criminals decided to overcome us? Well, luckily, the innovation that we have, or I try to put, is I put a police vehicle with a four-man team over there, that they do not come over. And that was one. But I have to look at the farther picture. What if we have this terrorism in Belize that they decide to blow up Hawksworth and destroy the wooden bridge? We have to think next 5 years, right? And the global terrorism look at Central America as the easiest way to go up north, right? So we have to look at all of these things. Again, I expect that we continue working together, the media, in passing out the information. There will be time I'll definitely have to tell you that sincerely I wanted to go through Mr. Ralph, because of other pressing things that I have obligated to the commissioner, right? And at the end of the day, I try to be humble with the media as well as to the commissioner of police, right?
The San Ignacio Police continues to dialogue with the community via its weekly current affairs program, Police Checkpoint, right here on TNC. Belize Energy Workers Union today sent out a press release calling on the government not to proceed with the destruction of containers of rice that were not allowed to be imported by businessman Jack Charles. The containers of rice from Guyana were impounded at the Big Creek port in Independence Village since mid-December, and the Belize Aquaculture Head Authorities, BAHA, refused to grant an entry permit. The BEWU press release says that it would be unwise for government to destroy the rice, which the union says could be put to better use. That better use, suggested the BEWU press release, would be to first ensure that all the rice is safe for human consumption, then to distribute it to organizations around the country which feeds children, the elderly, and the poor. A suggestion for the rice to be given to schools that have a feeding program in place, and aside for advertising against destruction of the rice, the Belize Energy Workers Union is also suggesting that government should compensate Jack Charles for the cost price of the rice. BEWU says that, and we quote, "We are not a country of wasteful people, nor a country with a culture of taking advantage of others. It is time we start acting as one," end of quote. The union also believes that if the government goes ahead with the planned destruction of the rice, the move would not sit well in the eyes of the international community. You're watching the 9 o'clock news. We will have more of today's story for you right after these messages.
More vehicle owners are switching to the Pure Guard line of motor oils, and with good reason. Pure Guard comes in different grades and specifications. It carries the API certification and comes with the Westrack stamp of approval, guaranteed to make your engine run cleaner and longer, up to 10,000 miles. With Pure Guard motor oil, your engine will have less wear and tear, give you maximum performance on the road, and give your vehicle better fuel mileage.
Pure Guard, good quality, affordable oil.
Distributed exclusively by Westrack Limited, with branches in Spanish Lookout, Belmopan, Belize City, and Orange Walk Town.
Are you always on the go? Tired of missing your favorite games while they're actually being played? Watch your games and sporting events live with Central TV and Internet's incredible MyTV. Simply log on to www.mitv.bz to get easy access to 25 channels, no matter where you are. With Central TV and Internet's MyTV, you're always in the game.
Welcome back to the 9 o'clock news. The Belize Fisheries Department continues its series of consultation with fishermen about readjustments to the marine protected areas which they use as a source of their livelihood. The next in the series of consultations will take Fisheries Department officials to the southern part of the country to dialogue with fishermen who use the South Waterkey Marine Reserve and the Turnif Atoll Marine Reserve. The focus of the consultation in the South, according to an official announcement, is to discuss the possible expansion and creation of zones within the two targeted protected areas. The consultation dates are as follows. January 12th at 9 a.m. at Help Age Center in Dangriga Town. The following day, January 13th at 6 p.m., the consultation moves to the Sandy Beach Cooperative Building in Hopkins Village. On January 14th, the consultation moves to Placencia Village. The venue is the community center and the consultation is scheduled to start at 6 o'clock in the evening. And on January 15th at 9 a.m., the consultation wraps up in St. Bite, Riversdale. The venue is the St. Bite Multipurpose Center. According to the official release, these consultations are supported by the Marine Conservation and Climate Adaptation Project, with funding by the World Bank Group. Proprietors of the Fine Catch Tilapia Farm in the Kaya District are celebrating an important milestone. That is the receipt of the Aquaculture Stewardship Council certificate. The award was announced last month by the council, designating Fine Catch as the first tilapia farm of its kind in Belize to gain the ASC Tilapia Standard for Responsible Aquaculture. The certification was handed out after an independent assessment by Certifier Control Union of Peru. According to the Aquaculture Council, last year, close to 100 farms from across 23 countries were assessed. The ASC Tilapia Standard aimed to address the key negative environmental and social impact of tilapia farming. It was developed through a comprehensive multi-stakeholder process that includes participation from farmers, seafood suppliers, conservationists, scientists, government officials, and other interested parties. A Belize City businesswoman was injured in a robbery on Tuesday afternoon. 56-year-old Maria Paul was accosted from behind by a man of dark complexion around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Police say their investigations revealed that Paul had just collected $500 from a tenant when she was accosted by a man who grabbed the money. During a brief struggle, Paul fell to the ground, hitting her head. The thief then escaped with the money. Police investigations continue. A Belize City man was apprehended at the Belize-Guatemala border and later charged for the crime of drug trafficking. According to the police in Benqueviejo del Carmen, 26-year-old Denmark Dugal of Belize City was seen walking into Belize coming from the Guatemalan side of Arenal village on Tuesday afternoon around 2 o'clock. Dugal was stopped by a team of officers on foot patrol. When they searched Dugal, officers found 2 yellow plastic bags containing 930 grams of marijuana. Dugal was arrested and charged for the offense of drug trafficking. The news on the national channel.
always on the go? Tired of missing your favorite games while they're actually being played? Watch your games and sporting events live with Central TV and Internet's incredible MyTV. Simply log on to www.mitv.bz to get easy access to 25 channels, no matter where you are. With Central TV and Internet's MyTV, you're always in the game.
More vehicle owners are switching to the Pure Guard line of motor oils, and with good reason. Pure Guard comes in different grades and specifications. It carries the API certification and comes with the Westrack stamp of approval, guaranteed to make your engine run cleaner and longer, up to 10,000 miles. With Pure Guard motor oil, your engine will have less wear and tear, give you maximum performance on the road, and give your vehicle better fuel mileage.
Pure Guard, good quality, affordable oil.
Distributed exclusively by Westrack Limited, with branches in Spanish Lookout, Belmopan, Belize City, and Orange Walk Town.
The final segment of the news tonight is a look at the weather. It shows that the high pressure influence is maintaining mainly fair and cool conditions over our area heading into the second half of the week. The general forecast for Belize and her coastal waters is for partly cloudy skies tonight. Little to no rainfall is expected. Tomorrow will be sunny with cloudy spells. Winds over the open seas and along the coast will be northeasterly at 5 to 10 knots, becoming southeasterly tonight. The sea state will be light to choppy. Low temperatures tonight will be around 72 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 68 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 64 degrees Fahrenheit up in the hills. High temperatures on Thursday will range from the low 80s along the coast to the mid 80s inland. It will be a comfortable 72 degrees Fahrenheit up in the exposed areas of the mountain pine ridge. The tides. A low tide will occur at 20 minutes to 3 o'clock in the morning. The sun will rise at 25 minutes past 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. It will set at 28 minutes to 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. The extended forecast, valid through to Friday afternoon, is for mainly fair weather with only brief isolated showers. And that is a look at the weather with information provided by forecaster Michael Gentle at the Belize Weather Bureau. To end the news, here is a look at the headlines again. San Ignacio Police investigates murder of Canadian national. Belize City man caught with drugs in Benqueviejo del Carmen. And Tilapia Farm in Kaya District celebrates international certification. With the headlines, we end this edition of the 9 o'clock news. Thank you for joining us. I am Kimberly Locke. Have a good evening and good night.